Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. The number of confirmed COVID cases in Newcastle is expected to grow as another venue is added to the close contact list. New South Wales Health says Finnegan's Hotel on Derby Street was visited by confirmed COVID cases, and anyone who went to the pub between 6:30 on Friday night and 2:30 on Saturday morning is considered a close contact and must get tested and isolate for 7 days. They say it's likely some of the people who went to the hotel have the Omicron strain of the virus. 84 people who were at the Argyle House nightclub last Wednesday have tested positive. Meanwhile, anyone who attended the University of Newcastle's fifth-year medical ball at NEX on Friday night is also classified as a close contact after it was listed as a new exposure site. The former Anglican Archbishop of Perth, Roger Hurft, has been defrocked over his failure to act on child sexual abuse allegations while he was the Bishop of Newcastle. He faced an internal church investigation following complaints about his conduct while he was in the role between 1993 and 2005. A church board has found Reverend Hurft is unfit to remain in holy orders and should be deposed. The former owner of the Truegain oil refinery site at Rutherford has been ordered to pay more than $1.2 million towards the clean-up costs. The Land and Environment Court has found in favour of the EPA in debt recovery proceedings against former owner Robert Pullinger. He was convicted and fined early this year for providing false information to the EPA and failing to comply with notices to supply information. Chief Executive Tracy Mackey says the court's decision is a significant result and sends a message that if you pollute, you will be pursued and made to pay. Newcastle researchers have found the relationship between the gut and the brain could have big consequences for soldiers. It's believed pressures such as stress, dehydration and sleep deprivation could change the gut microbiome and from there influence cognition. Professor Simon Keeley says the findings open the door to a whole new world of research and possibilities.
People who do develop PTSD, and not just soldiers, people who have trauma in their lives, are actually more likely to develop gut disorders later on in life. So I think this goes back to the idea that there's a link between our gut, the microbiota that live in our gut, and anxiety, depression and cognitive function.
The future extension of Newcastle's light rail line remains unclear, with conflicting plans on the table. Despite being included in the Hunter Regional Plan announced last week, the government has refused to say whether light rail will be included in detailed planning for the 60-hectare Hunter Park at Broadmeadow. This is despite the plan showing indicative stops at Beaumont Street, Gregson Park and the Nineways, which is a change from a route suggested by Transport for New South Wales last year, showing a line to the John Hunter Hospital. The annual Heaven Can Wait charity sailing regatta has plans to run over the first weekend in February next year on Lake Macquarie. The charity raises money for the Hunter branch of the Cancer Council, with funds going towards the Home Help program, which assists terminal and recovering patients with domestic tasks. Royal Motor Yacht Club Vice Commodore Mel Steiner says the charity event is like no other.
It's a little bit unique. It's in terms of yacht races, it's probably one of the only, in Australia, one of the only what we call round the cans overnight yacht race. In itself is a bit unique in that it is 24 hours, it's in a lake.
2NURFM Sport.
Jets W League stand-in keeper Georgia Boric says her debut at the weekend has been a long time coming after stepping in for injured keeper Claire Colho for their match against Wellington Phoenix. Boric didn't have much to concern her during the 5-1 dismantling of Wellington, as the Jets now look forward to facing Western Sydney this weekend. Meanwhile, Brazilian wonder kid Daniel Penna says the Jets are no longer flying under the radar after their emphatic 4-0 win over Wellington Phoenix at the weekend. The 23-year-old says the high-energy play style brought in by manager Arthur Pappas has been a catalyst for their early form, resulting in 9 goals from their opening 4 matches. Fresh from claiming the Victorian PGA, Charlestown golfer Blake Windred says plans are already being made for 2022. Windred will appear in the Jack Newton Celebrity Classic next week before beginning preparations for the Australian PGA in mid-January. And in racing, Scone trainer Paul Massara is celebrating a strong showing at the Beaumont racetrack yesterday, claiming a hat-trick of wins at the event. That's sport. I'm James Paris.
And the winning numbers in Monday Lotto are 2, 14, 20, 27, 28 and 29, and the supplementaries are 24 and 40. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.